I heard an interesting perspective on the way that our society is run here in the United States. Um, I don't know if I don't know if the person got it from like a meme or fucking they read it somewhere. I don't know if it's an original thought. Maybe fucking Dr. Seuss came up with it. I don't know. Don't care. I thought it was fucking interesting. And it goes something along the lines of, if I can fucking remember, that in this country we have the super rich and wealthy, which would be your billionaires and trillionaires and shit, um, talking to the regular rich people, which would be your millionaires, right? And those would also be like mainstream media figureheads and so on and so forth, right? And the regular rich convince the middle class that the reason things are bad are because of the poor. Now I know I completely fucking butchered it, but it makes fucking sense, right? Because I mean, how many times have you heard of some fucking super rich fucking cunt, get accused or even, I don't know, prosecuted, if it even goes that far, for doing something horrific, bank fraud, any of the fucking, the guys on Wall Street that, tanked our economy. How many times do you hear about them doing just some horrific shit and then they get a fucking slap on the wrist, right? But then you take somebody in the middle class, or more specifically, somebody in the poor, and they do something that's not even close to the level of horrificness. I know that's not a word. I don't think it's a word. If it is, it should be a word. They do something minor, smoke a joint or some shit, and they end up in prison for fucking, 3 or 4 years. Some people get life. I mean, what's that guy? Is it Fred Durst? No, Fred Durst fucking isn't he like the Limp Bizkit guy? What the fuck is that guy's name? I just watched a fucking documentary on the guy. What's his name? Is it Fred Durst? Fred Durst. I don't think it's Fred Durst. Yeah, it's not Fred Durst. It's something fucking Durst. Durst. Let's just look up that. Robert Durst. The fucking the real estate guy, right? He's accused of killing like 5 fucking people, I think, maybe more, I don't know. And they just barely are fucking talking about throwing this guy, or, this guy doing any sort of fucking time, right? I don't know. Did he murder 5 people? I know he killed a couple of people, and I think they were like ex-wives or some shit. I don't really know the whole entire fucking story. But, this guy is, a multi-millionaire, probably billionaire, kills people, doesn't go to fucking prison. Doesn't go. And the guy is as guilty as they fucking come. But, a guy that, I don't know, got into a fight because, with somebody that, I don't know, fucking slapped his wife or some shit. And I mean, this is not an actual fucking case, but, can you imagine anybody in the middle or poor class getting a slap on the wrist for killing 5 fucking people? When has that ever fucking happened? Ever? And I know it's happened a couple of times, right, where somebody's obviously fucking guilty. I mean, O.J. Simpson, but even he doesn't fucking qualify because he was a fucking celebrity. It rarely, if ever, happens to just an ordinary Mo that they get off doing even half of the shit that these rich cunts get. Get fucking get blamed for or whatever. But you always hear, right, that the problem is the inner cities. It's the poor. It's the Mexicans. It's the, the fucking I don't know, the nurses or some shit. It's the fucking unions. It's the people that have no fucking money or power. Those are the ones that are causing all the problems in this country. I mean, that's basically what you hear all the fucking time, right? They call even like things that were designed to keep people from fucking, ending up on the street, like welfare or whatever, or WIC, or fucking Meals on Wheels, or I don't know, they call these things fucking entitlements, as though it's like, oh, you're not really working for it. So, I mean, it's just, it always has. I hate when they fucking call it that, right? When they call something that is designed as a social safety net so people don't end up in the fucking gutter. I hate when they refer to it as entitlements, because just the word alone implies that this person is just like, I'm not going to fucking work. I'm not going to do what it takes to fucking make it in this country. I'm just going to, I feel entitled to that money, right? And that's the picture that, Republicans always try and paint, but even Democrats are guilty of doing this shit at this point, right? It's always painted like that's the problem. Illegal immigration, that's the problem. They're coming over, with the Mexicans. Oh, they're coming here and they're taking all the fucking sweet fucking strawberry picking jobs. How ridiculous is it that you have people on Wall Street that damn near crash the fucking economy? They get bailed out, right? Their companies get bailed out. They cause fucking hardship from fucking coast to coast. They get a fucking bailout, but the poor fucking immigrant Mexican person that's coming here just because they want to fucking work and be able to take care of their family. Oh no, they're the fucking problem. Those guys are the ones that are the problem. How fucking ridiculous is it that's the way we fucking look at that we look at things, right? We, this idea that if Republicans love to fucking promote this shit, right? But this idea that, oh, if you give the people with so much money that they don't even know what to fucking do with it, if you give them more money, what they'll do is they'll take that money and they'll create all these fucking jobs. They tell you that bullshit all the fucking time. And it's basically trickle down economics. It started with fucking Reagan, or maybe it was before him. I don't know. It has never fucking worked. Especially with things like NAFTA or TPP, which TPP is, it's dead. Although I hear Trump is trying to sort of revamp it, and it most likely will be even more horrific than it already was. When you have things like NAFTA that basically said, it basically told these corporation owners and these factory owners that, hey, if you want, you can take your factories and your business and move them overseas or across the border and pay those guys whatever the fuck you feel like, and then you can sell those goods here for tax free or whatever. You could do that, and that's exactly what fucking happened, right? That's what happened to that's why Detroit right now is a fucking is a fucking ghost town, because that's exactly what fucking happened. So this idea that, oh, if you give the rich and wealthy, if you give them more fucking money and and that'll fucking pay off in the end, it's bullshit. It's never fucking worked, but that's always their plan, right? And even Democrats are on board with that shit, right? That's why they kill fucking that's why they try and kill the fucking unions. They've been trying to do that since like the fucking 80s. Hell, that's why fucking, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were fucking pushing for the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was basically just NAFTA on fucking steroids. They were pushing for that. They have no desire to help the fucking working class at all, which is, kind of explains why a good portion of people fucking voted for Trump, because Trump talked about bringing people's jobs back. Now, yes, it was absolute fucking horseshit. It was absolute fucking horseshit, but that's, I mean, yeah, some people, I don't know why I have to keep making this fucking distinction. At this point, if you really think that everybody that voted for Trump is a fucking racist, even though there's evidence that people that fucking voted for Obama twice, voted for Trump. If you think that every one of them is racist, you're pretty much just indulging in what do they call it? Willful ignorance at this point. But where was I going with this shit? Fucking 10 minutes in, and I'm already like fucking lost in my own fucking yammering. The Democrats, they have no desire to fucking help the working people. They haven't been the party of the people or the working people since fucking FDR. They haven't. But to get back on track to what fucking set this all in motion is you see that all the fucking time. That for some reason, even though we've got these fucking super rich cunts, bleeding this fucking country dry. They do shit like fucking pay people damn near slave wages. Even though they're the fucking reason that we can't have things like, fucking healthcare for all, or free college, or fucking ending the wars. I mean, they're the reasons for it, but for some reason they've convinced everyone that it's the poor people that are fucking fucking shit up. It's the poor people holding us back. Tell me again how the somebody that barely has two fucking nickels to rub together has any fucking power. I mean, somebody needs to. I mean, it seems like common fucking sense that you'd be able to put two and two together and realize that people with no power have no ability to fucking affect change. You would think that after watching fucking millionaire or billionaire after fucking billionaire get caught doing some horrific shit and never fucking end up in prison, you would think that people would put it together that, you know what, the problem isn't the guy that's fucking trying to take care of his family by picking fucking 10,000 strawberries a day. That that's not the guy that's causing the fucking problems. The problem is the guy that owns the fucking corporation that decided, just so I can make a little bit more fucking money, I'm going to move the fucking company overseas or across the border and put you out of fucking work just so I can make a couple fucking nickels more. Those are the people that are fucking that are the problem. And this is the reason why I don't know how I fucking got into all of this, but this is the main reason why, as progressives, why we were adamant, and we're still adamant about, we don't want fucking corporatists running the country any fucking more. That's why we didn't fucking vote for Hillary Clinton. It's why we continually try and convince people to stop, just voting for that fucking lesser evil. And yes, I mean, you can look at it like, well, if she's a lesser evil, it's better than fucking Trump. But the problem is that Trump is not, like, when Trump became president, it's not like, well, the country went from being a fucking paradise to a shithole. Okay? The country has been a fucking shithole, at least if you're in the middle class or poor, has been a fucking shithole for almost 40 fucking years. And most of those years, Democrats have been in fucking power. You had 8 years of fucking Bill Clinton. You had fucking 8 years of Bush, but then you have 8 years of fucking Obama. And, I mean, nothing ever got, I mean, things got arguably fucking worse during fucking the 16 years that, I mean, well, it's been half, right? So I guess you could say that the Democrats are half the reason why shit is so fucked up, or why it's been so fucked up for the past, 30 to 40 fucking years. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this. I don't know why I'm yelling at you guys. It's just it blows my mind when if you're on Twitter or any of these fucking social media sites and you have these people that are just absolutely fucking convinced that Hillary was a fucking angel, that the Democrats are fucking awesome, and that that the problem is the Republicans and Trump. Yes, Trump's a fucking monster. The Republicans are fucking horrific. But the thing is they've always been that way. Nothing has changed with their whole fucking strategy of let's give all the money to the rich and let's fuck the poor as much as as we possibly can. Their fucking motto, or whatever, their fucking mission statement in life has always been the same. Democrats, on the other hand, have for the past almost 40 years pretended like they weren't fighting for the exact same shit that the Republicans wanted. They've been pretending to be on the side of the fucking of the people, the working class people. But if you look at their history of policies that they've put forth, you'll see that there is no indication that they give a fucking rat's ass about the working people. Not even in the least. When was the last time you've heard any Democrat, whether they're president or senator or whatever, talk about a jobs program? When was the last time you ever heard any of them fucking talk about that? Because I've been alive for 40 years. I haven't fucking heard them say that shit once. Now, obviously, for, probably the first 16, 17 years of my life, I maybe they fucking talk about it. I didn't give a shit. I was too busy trying to, bang girls and, fucking not fail school. Well, there was other shit too. I mean, obviously that wasn't like my entire focus. It wasn't just like girls and, don't be a fucking dropout. But, you could make the argument that for the first 17 years of my life, I paid zero fucking attention to what's going on in the country and had maybe a peripheral understanding of how politics worked, of our history, any of that shit. But then, you get older and you start to pay attention to shit. And from maybe 18, 19 until now, I have not heard one fucking Democrat talk about a jobs program. What they talk about is jobs training. As if there is this fucking, there's this surplus of unskilled workers out there. That the problem isn't that there aren't any fucking jobs. It's just, you've got all these unskilled fucking workers. It's horseshit. The problem is there aren't any fucking jobs, and the jobs that are in existence are either temporary or they're, building fucking missiles for the military industrial complex. Now, if you are somebody that, thinks that maybe it's not such a good idea to fucking bomb the dog shit out of everybody on the other side of the fucking world, and you don't want to be a part of that, and then maybe you're not going to get a job fucking building missiles and landmines and shit. But you never hear him talk about a jobs program. You hear him all the time talk about a job training. Right? You listen to Tom Perez, now the guy that's head of the fucking DNC, and every time you ask him, like, well, what's your fucking plan? What are the Democrats' plan? And all he says is, we're gonna lead we're gonna lead with our values, and we're for fucking good jobs, Yeah, that's pretty much fucking it. I mean, that's all he fucking says all the goddamn time. We're gonna lead with our fucking values, and we like things like good jobs. Now you might be saying, well, there you go. He's talking about jobs. Well, no, he's saying basically we like jobs. Well, if you're somebody that doesn't have a job, I'm pretty sure you like jobs as well. But the problem is, there's no, okay, we like jobs and this is how we're going to fucking create them. There's never that. It's just, oh, we like jobs. We like good jobs. As if there's somebody out there that's like, you know what I really like is a really fucking horrific job. I love it. It's empty on all sides of the fucking plate. But, I know that I'm going off in a million different fucking directions from where I started. But the problem is that, I mean, that fucking statement, that perspective on things is spot on. Right? You've got the super rich doing whatever they can to protect every fucking nickel. Talking to the regular rich that are, their fucking biggest desire is to become, one of these super fucking rich and wealthy. You have them convincing the middle class, the people that should fucking understand that, I mean, it's difficult to even be considered in the middle class at this point because the fucking the bar of or the line, the poverty line seems to be, fucking creeping up every single fucking year. I mean, I live in the Silicon Valley currently, and I mean, luckily I've got a very fucking a good paying fucking gig. But they're saying that in order to fucking be, to not be in absolute fucking poverty, you have to make somewhere in the neighborhood of like 70 to 80 grand a year. Right? So tell me how somebody that's, making or, earning fucking $12, $15 an hour that's bringing home, roughly 20, 25,000 a year, if that, how the fuck are they ever going to get out of, their situation? Somebody has to explain to me how somebody getting, a fucking, just some help with groceries, how they're the reason that the fucking economy damn near crashed fucking 8 or 9 years ago. Tell me how exactly they're at fault for that shit. Tell me how fucking, Obama, when he got into office, tell me how his idea of bailing out the banks instead of the people that had been fucked by the banks, tell me how that was supposed to make things better for people in the middle and lower classes, or not lower, poorer classes. Tell me how that was supposed to fucking benefit them. I mean, how many fucking people got thrown out of their house, that have had their fucking home for, 10, 15, 20, 30 fucking years, got fucking foreclosed upon because of some crooked shit that some fucking Wall Street banker pulled. And Obama comes in and he fucking bails those guys out. You're telling me that the fucking Democrats are the good guys? I'm sorry, but, being lesser evil is still fucking evil. Yeah, when it comes to some of the fucking social issues, yes, Democrats are better. I'll even make the argument that, that between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, yeah, on some of the social issues, yeah, she's a little bit better. But you know what? The problem is we've been dealing with just a little bit better for way too fucking long in this country. And the thing is that, everybody is like, well, we can fucking fight the good fight or whatever when it's time, when we're not dealing with a Donald Trump. But that's the problem. There's never going to be a good fucking time. Even when we had fucking Obama, nothing fucking changed. We fucking, we went from 2 illegal wars to fucking 7 illegal wars. More fucking innocent women and children and, and old people still fucking ended up with rockets hitting their fucking city. The middle class continued to slide ever further fucking into fucking poverty. People still lost their fucking homes. And, we still didn't get any sort of fucking, we didn't get fucking single payer or even a public option as far as healthcare. You still have, people fucking $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in debt coming out of college and they don't even have a job yet. You still have all of that shit. So please excuse me or pardon my fucking, I don't know, my irreverence when it comes to, Donald Trump is the fucking enemy. I'm sorry, Donald Trump isn't the fucking enemy. I mean, he is, but the real fucking enemy is the one that's pretending to be on your side. With Donald Trump and the Republicans, already. You know what their fucking goal is. The Democrats, on the other hand, have been, they've been pretending the entire time to be on the side of the working class, of, for black people and for gay people. And, just look at the gay thing, right? Hillary Clinton didn't really, she didn't come to the idea that, gay marriage is okay until 2013. Now, a lot of people will say, well, everybody's entitled to their fucking, to have a change of heart. And that's true. But the problem is that Bill Clinton cooked up DOMA. Now, for those of you that don't know what the fuck DOMA is, it's the Defense of Marriage Act, which basically made gay marriage illegal. They fucking started that shit. So you're telling me that, after doing that, she suddenly had a fucking change of heart, and it just so happened to take place right around the time everybody was kind of like, well, what's the fucking big deal? It's shit like that people refuse to fucking accept. Everybody's upset with Donald Trump, and I'm not defending Donald Trump. He's a fucking maniac. But everybody's upset at Donald Trump because of his stance on illegal immigrants, right? And yet most people don't even know that Obama was referred to the deporter in chief. The guy fucking deported like 2 to 3 million fucking people during his term. Think about the sheer number of families that were broken up because of him. And then you got the people like, fucking the travel ban is so horrific the way that Trump is treating these refugees. Who do you think caused those fucking refugees? I mean, could it have been, I don't know, the fucking 9,000% uptick in fucking drone strikes that Obama, okayed, that caused those fucking those refugees? Could it be that we fucking bombed the dog shit out of Syria so much during Obama's term that we actually ran out of fucking bombs? Could it be that that's why there's so many fucking refugees? You're upset at Trump because he won't let the refugees in? How come you're not mad at the guy that fucking created the refugees in the first place? There's this thing in this country, and it drives me up the fucking wild, or up the wild. It drives me up the wall. That we have this idea that somehow, we're not as fucked up as everybody else in the world. That somehow we are the fucking, we have the moral of fucking high ground over here in the U.S. While meanwhile, we don't pay attention to, where, like, how we end up with fucking oil. We don't pay attention to that shit. Nobody seems to even want to know that the whole reason that the fucking Middle East is on fire is because, we really want a fucking pipeline, and we basically want to push the Middle East out of the fucking out of the fuel game. Sorry, my fucking phone beeped. Nobody wants to acknowledge the horrific fucking conditions that fucking workers go through in order to make those fucking iPhone X's that everybody clamored for a week and a half ago. Nobody wants to fucking think about that. Nobody wants to acknowledge that a lot of fucked up shit happens so that we can fucking exist. We don't care about where, that fucking, that diamond ring that you lust for. We don't care that, fucking, that there are people that are fucking enslaved in Africa are the ones that are fucking mining for those diamonds. It takes slavery to bring you that nice fucking shiny rock. We are so convinced in this country that we are fucking the good guys, that even when it's obvious that fucking that there's some fucking really fucking bad people running the country or trying to become the president of the fucking country, we just completely fucking ignore it because we have it in this idea that we're all just we're fucking perfect. We're in the Middle East for humanitarian reasons, and it just so happens that they happen to have oil and rare minerals and shit. It just so happens that now that we're fucking ramping up this fucking tensions between North Korea, it just so happens that we care about the way that Kim Jong-un treats his people, or because he's a crazy guy. It just so happens that just completely ignore the fact that North Korea is basically sitting on a fucking gold mine of rare earth minerals. It can't possibly be the reason that we're starting shit with them. The fact that we're basically building up to World War III with fucking Russia. It can't be that Russia basically stands in the way of us building a pipeline through Syria. It can't possibly be that. It's got to be they're the fucking bad guy. It's unbelievable how fucking stupid people are in this country. I know we all fucking want to believe that we're not fucking, hold on a second. Sorry. We all want to believe that we're not fucking being, run by a bunch of fucking sociopaths, but we are. I mean, think about it. I know there's a lot of rumors about the Clintons and them, offing people. Right. And by the way, in case somebody's listening to this shit, I love life. I'm very fucking happy. There's no way I would ever commit suicide. There's no fucking way. So if, for some reason it turns out I committed suicide, or I don't know, my fucking brand new car blew up mysteriously, we all know what fucking happened. Okay. But, I'm not even going to focus just on them. You got to go listen to, what the fuck is his name? Sam Tripoli. He has a podcast called, what is it called? It's like, the fuck is it called? It's like the tin foil hat with Sam Tripoli. He has this amazing take on the shady shit that goes on with the fucking Clintons and shit. I recommend you go listen to it, but be prepared to be freaked the fuck out. But not to focus just on them. Isn't it? I mean, can you look at like any of these super rich fucking cunts and not imagine that they've at least, if they haven't directly killed somebody, they've had somebody fucking do it for them? Can you look at any of the super fucking rich Can you honestly make the argument that it's just not possible that they fucking would? I mean, we're talking about people that fight against paying people a living wage. We're talking about people that will argue that, tooth and, or will fucking fight tooth and nail against, single payer healthcare, even though, and they'll say, oh, it won't work, and it's one step away from fucking communism, and just completely ignore the fact that we've had fucking a single payer system in this country since FDR, and that would be fucking Medicare. And if you talk to old people, I don't know, I haven't heard one old person complain about Medicare. They fucking love it. So you're telling me we can't have single payer because, that'll lead to fucking anarchy. These people are just interested in making fucking money. They don't care that if you end up with a fucking a toothache, that you'll end up fucking bankrupt. They don't give a shit. They're interested in just making a couple of more fucking nickels. So you're telling me with people like that, a few, like 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, fucking Bernie Sanders had he had proposed this bill, and I've talked about it on this podcast before, but he had proposed this bill that would allow Americans to import cheaper fucking medications from Canada. And, just so that, they could fucking afford them. Because, I hear if you have, I don't know, if you're one of these people that goes into anaphylactic shock or whatever, that, the cost of a fucking EpiPen is like, $900 fucking dollars. Basically it's either you pay $900 and you live, or you don't and you fucking die. But anyway, Bernie Sanders proposed this bill, and fucking Cory Booker, who's suddenly become the fucking the shining, or one of the shining stars in the Democratic Party, he's like, no, I don't, I fucking veto that because there's this possibility that that fucking that we'll get some fucking tainted drugs or whatever, and they haven't been FDA approved or whatever. Meanwhile, fucking Canada, their standards as far as their pharmaceutical companies, their standards are like 1,000,000 times better than our FDA. There's never been a case ever of somebody getting tainted fucking medication from pharmacy in Canada. Never fucking happened. But Cory Booker is like, what if, what if you only pay fucking $5 for something that we charge $1,000 for, and what if it just happens to have, I don't know, a fucking a drop of rat piss in it, It has nothing to do with whether or not the drugs are fucking tainted. It has everything to do with our pharmaceutical companies not wanting to share fucking profits or see their profits fucking dip because people are buying cheaper shit somewhere else. I mean, it's the whole reason why we don't have, or why fucking marijuana isn't legal everywhere. Just strictly because of the medicinal benefits to it. The pharmaceutical company has no fucking desire to relinquish any fucking profits to marijuana. And the same thing goes with the alcohol industry, right? They fought against they had something to do with like with all these medical marijuana shops that popped up. It had something, I don't know the full fucking story, you'll have to do a Google search, but it had something to do with like they didn't want to have any part in the distribution of the fucking the marijuana. I guess they were driving the trucks or some shit. I don't know. Like I said, I'm only like halfway familiar with the fucking story, but basically it boiled down to is like, well, fuck, we're not gonna help you fucking make any money that might cut money down from us. or cut into our fucking profits. We're not gonna help you. I mean, how ridiculous is it that there has never been one case of marijuana overdose? Not one. And yet there is like somewhere in the neighborhood of like, I don't know, 20,000 fucking alcohol related fucking deaths, especially with drunk driving. How fucking ridiculous is it that you can walk into a liquor store and buy something that could basically, it fucks with your body, right? It fucks up your liver, but it can also cause you to drive your car 100 miles an hour into the back of somebody else and kill somebody. How ridiculous is it that that's legal, but weed that, all it does is calm you fucking down and maybe cures your glaucoma or whatever the fuck. We can't have that shit. It's the gateway drug. Do any of you guys realize that a long time ago, alcohol and cigarettes were considered the gateway drugs? Just, fucking think about that. But, I don't know, what was I even fucking talking about? How did I end up talking about this shit? I don't know. I'm just saying that, if you find yourself angry at somebody that has less power and less money than you, chances are somebody that's higher up on the fucking hierarchy is telling you to hate that person. Right? I mean, this whole thing with, between, this black and white thing or with the fucking racists and shit, even though we're all in the same fucking boat, right? Because you don't really see, I mean, I'm sure that there are, extreme racists and shit that are, millionaires and billionaires, but you really don't see them fucking, going to the extent of beating the dog shit out of somebody because of the color of their skin or whatever, or their sexual orientation. You don't see them doing that. But what you do see is a bunch of fucking, middle class and poor people fucking angry at one another, even though we're all in the same fucking boat. We're all getting the fucking boot up our ass. We're all fucking being fucked over by these fucking suits, that work on Wall Street, or, they're at their fucking eyes wide shut fucking parties. We're all getting fucked by them, but for some reason, the black guy is, that's the guy that's the problem, or the Mexican. Oh, that guy, he's coming in here and he's fucking taking a job that I didn't even fucking want in the first place. It's just, people need to stop being so goddamn dumb and realize who the real fucking enemy is. Who is the real reason that your job fucking, or the factory that you worked in, is now overseas or across the border? Whose fault is that really? Is it the guy that's fucking working at Taco Bell, working a fucking 12-hour shift? Is it his fault? Or is it the guy with the fucking, $8,000 fucking Armani suit that's like, I need a fucking a much bigger yacht? I'm just saying, people, at some point you're going to have to fucking, you either got to wake the fuck up and go after the people that are really causing the fucking problem, or you gotta stop bitching. Because I'm big on, or one of my fucking pet peeves are people that will complain. They complain about fucking everything, but they won't do anything to fucking solve whatever it is that they're complaining about. They just sit around and they just bitch, but they never fucking do anything to fix that problem. Right? And that is exactly what happens in the middle class and well, I don't even want to put it on the lower class, because if you're in, why do I keep saying lower? If you're poor, if you're living below the fucking poverty line, your life is shit. I get it. I feel for you. I don't blame you for being pissed off. I don't blame you one fucking bit. But if you're in the middle class, and you're sitting there fucking shitting on somebody that's poor, and you're blaming them for why your fucking life is fucked up. And it's obvious that it's not that guy's fault, that it's the guy with the fucking suit. And you know it. You know for a fucking fact it's his fucking fault or her fucking fault. I don't want to leave out the ladies. I don't want to assume that only fucking, only men can be rich and evil. Speaking of which, I don't even want to get into that shit, all right? But anyway, if you know that it's the fucking guy that's got the fucking yacht that takes vacations to fucking Martha's Vineyard, or has a house in the fucking Hamptons, if you know that that's the guy that caused your fucking problems and you do nothing about it, you can't bitch anymore. You need to officially just shut the fuck up. You got everybody that's like, oh, these fucking wars. Why do we keep fucking fighting these wars? Well, why do you keep fucking signing up and joining the military? Why do you keep doing that? Especially when you know that these wars are fucking bullshit. You telling me guys that fucking get their training on a playground have the ability to fucking, like they're a big threat? They're not a fucking threat. They never have been. I know people are like, what about 9/11? Well, I don't know. There's some fishy shit there. And I don't usually, you guys know how I feel about the fucking conspiracy theories, especially the fucking crazy ones like the flat earth people that, it's just like, why do you believe that somebody's like, why is there this conspiracy to hide the fact that we're on a flat earth? I mean, who fucking benefits from that? Nobody. We live on a fucking a round earth. You fucking idiots. My thing about conspiracy theories is if there's a group or somebody that stands to gain something from a particular situation, then chances are it's not a fucking conspiracy theory. The chances are there's some fucking smoke and there's some fire going on over there. If it's something that's like, oh, who fucking benefits from it? The fucking flat earth thing, or the people that think that fucking Sandy Hook was a false flag or some shit. It's like, who did those, like, who benefited in those fucking those situations? The people are like, oh, this was an attempt, with the Sandy Hook thing. It's like, oh, it's an attempt to fucking, take your guns. Meanwhile, we've had fucking, hundreds of fucking mass shootings since then, and not one gun has been taken. So I'm guessing that, maybe you ought to fucking settle down a little bit. But with 9/11, I mean, not to get too far into it, but there's the thing with the fucking money that Donald Rumsfeld had been talking about like the day before, the fucking like $5 or $6 trillion that was supposedly missing, that just so happened to exist in one of the fucking vaults in the I don't know if the money was there, but there's like all this fucking gold that happened to be in the fucking vault in one of the fucking towers, and it just so happens that the quote unquote fucking plane that hit the Pentagon just happened to hit the area where all of the information about this missing money, it happened to hit there and destroy everything. It's just like, okay, I'm with you. I don't want to believe that our government would do some horrific shit like that, but give me a fucking break. There's way too many fucking coincidences there. And do I think, do I indulge in the crazy shit like, oh, they were remote controlled? No, I think the planes were fucking real. It's a little hard to believe that, you have a plane full of, I don't know, 200, 300 people, and they let fucking some guys with some box cutters basically fly them to their death. It's a little fucking far-fetched, but I imagine that most people, you have this idea that, oh, I'm going to be so fucking brave if some shit happens, and then some shit happens and you're frozen in terror. So yeah, okay, it's possible. I don't think that it was like some sort of fucking CIA op or whatever, some shit like that. I think that, that they knew it was going to fucking happen and they let it fucking happen. You know, it just seems weird that you know, the any evidence for the fucking trillions of dollars that were missing, it's all been wiped away. That the gold that was supposedly in one of the vaults in I think it was a Tower 7, or the one that everybody's like, why the fuck did that one fall? You know, that somehow that all fucking disappeared. The fact that on that particular day, you know, there was no military response for these planes that, you know, that are flying off course. You know, 3 fucking planes go off course, no fucking response whatsoever. And it just so happens that, you know, the people that would have responded, they just happened to be on fucking like some training exercise, and that's why they didn't show up. I mean, the fucking 9/11 thing, it's not too far-fetched to think that there is something fucking fishy going on there. But, you know, the flat earth thing and, you know, the Sandy Hook and, you know, like, those qualify as fucking ridiculous. You know, believing that fucking Tupac is really alive. You know, when he's out there in fucking Cuba or some shit. I mean, you know, these fall under... You know, you're just fucking nuts if you think, you know, I mean, you're up there with fucking space aliens coming down and probing people in the ass. You know, it's just, you're out of hand. But if you look at, you know, things like 9/11 and the fact that, you know, that back in the fucking, during JFK's presidency, they had this fucking plan. It was called, I think it was Operation Northwoods or some shit, where they were trying to convince JFK to okay them to fucking take a remote controlled fucking airliner. It looks like a commercial airline, and fucking have it, you know, like purposely attacked or some shit, or go down, and you know, that would be the catalyst for us to go into Cuba, because it had something to do with the Cubans for some fucking reason. They had this plan that they were going to manufacture, you know, tragedy so that we would all be on board with going into Cuba and overthrowing that shit. And JFK was like, nah, fuck that shit. And it just so happens that, you know, a couple years later, not even a couple years later, maybe like 6 months, 12, I don't know, a year, you know, he gets fucking assassinated. And it just so happens that, you know, they just released the some of the files from the JFK assassination, and it turns out that there were more than one fucking shooter. You know, it's just these types of things. When you look at that, and then you look at what happened in fucking you know, September 11th, it's like, all right, you know, there's definitely some fucking crazy shit going on there. You know, I don't know how I ended up on this shit. It's just, oh yeah, the people that are like, oh, these fucking wars. Well, stop fucking, you know, stop fucking signing up. If you really give a shit that about the people in fucking China that are jumping out the window because they can't deal with their living conditions as they put together fucking iPhones and other Apple products, then don't buy it. You know, it's just, I don't know. I'm fed up with people that fucking bitch and complain, and yet they just go along with the fucking with the flow. They just go with the flow. They, you know, we pretend like shit isn't as fucked up. We pretend like, you know, like we're the fucking good guys. We pretend like those refugees that are trying to come here weren't created because of us. You know, we pretend like fucking Hillary Clinton was this fucking angel, when if you just dive into her fucking history, you'll find out that she is, you know, her and fucking Bill Clinton are involved in a lot of fucked up shit that had basically led up to us having Trump as president. And I'm just saying that, you know what? Either do something about it or shut the fuck up. And with that, I am going to end this fucking podcast. So I hope you're having a good week. I will try and give you another one tomorrow if I can. My kids have fucking day off from school, so it might not happen because, as I've said in a previous podcast, I don't like to do these things when other people are home or especially my kids, because I will never get any fucking privacy. And, every fucking 5 minutes, my son will come in and ask me, or tell me a story about fucking Naruto or some shit. So, it's iffy. But, if I get a moment of peace, then yeah, I'll give you another one tomorrow. But if not, I'll talk to you again next week. All right. If you are new to this podcast, please do me a favor and fucking subscribe. When as I've mentioned in previous podcasts, when my fucking personal Twitter account got suspended forever, it fucking hurt me, especially with the listenership, because a lot of my listeners listen to me through fucking Twitter and my personal account. So, if you are new, or even if you've been listening to this shit for for a long time or whatever, fucking subscribe. It doesn't take much fucking time. I don't know. Or not, you do whatever the fuck you want. But anyways, I'll talk to you again either tomorrow or fucking next week. I hope you're having a good week and a good weekend if I don't talk to you tomorrow. And, that's it. So, don't take any shit and go fuck yourself. Peace. By the way, I love life. I would never kill myself. So, if, just in case the fucking guys are, those sneaky fucks with the alphabet that work for the fucking alphabet companies are listening. I love life. There's no way I would ever commit suicide. All right. Take it easy. Peace.